Hello, everyone. Welcome to our last webinar of this upskilling program, Chapter 6 on effective communication skills. My name is Jatin, and I'm joined here today by my colleague Shai. So, together, we'll be diving into the realm of written communication, exploring everything from crafting professional emails to mastering the art of taking concise meeting minutes.
That's right, Jatin. So today we'll be introducing you guys to a variety of transcription tools like Fireflies, Otter, and one more exciting tool that Jat is going to tell you. And I'll be showing you some AI tools and extensions for email writing. Now, these can significantly reduce your workflow and enhance your productivity. So, you've always been struggling while writing meeting notes while attending the meeting. So, this is what you need to listen to today to get this done effectively and much more faster.
Absolutely. But before we jump into the world of written communication, we have a special guest joining us today. So please welcome Naveen, who will be shedding some light on one of the most crucial aspects of verbal communication. So Naveen brings a wealth of experience with him in public speaking and organizational skills as well. And we're absolutely thrilled to have him share his insights with us as well. Uh, Additionally, improving your verbal communication skills is essential for effectively conveying your ideas, engaging your audience, and ultimately achieving your goals. So, without further ado, let's give the floor to Naveen to kickstart our webinar with his invaluable expertise. Yes, Naveen, I will hand it over to you. Also, I'll quickly share my screen so that we can see the presentation that we have for effective communication skills.
Great. Thank you, Jatin and Shay, for the warm welcome. Good morning, everyone. Today, I'll be walking you through some practical tips and strategies to help you become a more confident and compelling communicator in remote settings, especially. So, when you are delivering a presentation, participating in a meeting, or simply engaging in casual conversations, mastering the art of verbal communication can truly make a difference. So, let's dive in. And please feel free to share your name and comments in the chat box to make it more interactive. Otherwise, I'll be the only one who will be speaking. Now we'll explore various strategies to enhance communication while working remotely. And first thing which crosses my mind always, which is pillar of communication working remotely, is logistics. So let's begin with logistics. Effective communication begins with establishing clear channels and protocols. And here are some key considerations when it comes to logistics. So optimizing productivity and output, prioritize a comfortable ergonomic table chair setup. A mistake I made when I started off working remotely was I started, sitting on my bed and started working, and I thought, who would know, right? And but my back started acting up in a couple of days. So then I bought a ergonomic chair and table setup, and I was able to focus more. I was able to work more for the long hours. So, good internet connectivity is another thing which is crucial. Just imagine you are in a meeting and your video is lagging, or maybe your video gets stuck. It won't last a good impression, and then it will take a toll on your confidence as well. Nothing would be worse than a shaky start. So, to avoid that, please make sure the connectivity is good. Next comes your attire. Your attire is going to make a huge difference. So make sure you are well groomed and wearing formals. Go for solid colors. People do not wear stripes or checkered shirt. Again, another thing which is equally important is avoidly dimly lit or poorly illuminated areas during meetings for enhanced visual clarity. Please don't go for a very economical option because this is going to be a game changer for you. Just imagine the quality is all blurry, another person is not able to look at you, or maybe you would not be able to see your expressions, so you would not be able to carry on the conversation with that person. So you won't feel confident as well, and then you will be hesitant, you will stop yourself, and that is going to hamper the conversation. So make sure the workstation you have is well lit. Another thing, Keep an extra pair of headphones ready for quiet calls and to maintain focus. You never know when these earphones are going to ditch you. It's a one time investment. If your audio quality isn't that good, no matter what you are saying, it would not be as impactful as it could have been. Never ever compromise on logistics and not on earphones. This is your bread and butter. Take care of it. Another thing equally important would be make sure your line of sight is parallel to the camera, laptop's camera. If you are in a corner or come across as you are looking elsewhere, it will be distracting for the person you are communicating with, and the person would lose interest. So make sure that you stay in the center, maintain eye contact. Besides what you say, maintaining eye contact may be one of the most important things you can do during a virtual meeting. Arrange your workstation in an isolated corner of your home. Just imagine you are in a meeting and somebody is knocking the door. You'll be disturbed, right? So you will lose focus. So make sure that nobody is disturbing you. Let the family members know that this is my work time. Please don't disturb me. Utilize communication tools such as Slack, Microsoft Teams, or Zoom for real time collaboration. Another thing which crosses my mind while working virtually, you got to be very, very communicative. So being communicative, it is essential for fostering collaboration and maintaining productivity. Being communicative is essential when working virtually because without communication, it's easy for others to assume you are not working or engaging in other activities, or maybe you are moonlighting or you're out with your friends or family. Nobody would know because this is not a physical setup, physical office setup. I mean, in physical office setup, you just turn up, you show your face, and your attendance is marked. You mark your presence. But here, the ball game is altogether different. So it's just that in order to show your attendance, in order to mark your presence, you gotta be very, very communicative. A couple of tips to be more communicative while working virtually. Don't wait for people to ask you about updates. Be proactive in sharing updates, progress, and challenges with your team. You should not wait for people to turn up to ask you about the updates or milestones you have achieved so far. So be prompt with your responses, right? And go ahead and communicate. You use clear and concise language to convey your message. Never be vague in your responses, especially when you are slacking somebody or emails. So, I mean, written media could be vague. So make sure that you're very objective and precise whenever you're communicating. Encourage open communication channels when team members feel comfortable expressing their ideas and concerns is again very important. Increase the frequency of video meetings rather than relying solely on emails or Slack messages because the conversation is more organic. You look at a person, you look at their expressions, and you'll be able to build a rapport with the person. So it's more warm. So make sure avoid Slack or emails and try as much as you can to 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 schedule in order to schedule video meetings. So make sure that you always prefer video meetings as compared to messages or emails. Always keep your videos turned on. This is something which I have seen over the period of time. A lot of people shy away, or maybe they're not feeling very confident, or maybe they're lazy enough to turn on their videos. Please don't do that. It shows that you are underconfident, or maybe you are an introvert, which is not going to work in our line of business. So make sure you always keep your videos turned on, and your mic should be off unless you are asked to speak. Being responsive is another thing which is equally important. Responsiveness is key to maintaining momentum and preventing delays in remote work. Consider the following: respond promptly to email, messages, and requests from colleagues just there and then. Do not wait for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 15 minutes. Just do it the moment you see it. Acknowledge receipt of messages, even if you need to provide a detailed response. Don't run after perfection that, I'll make it perfect and then I'm going to send it to you. No, not going to work. Perfection is a virtue and it leads to too much time investment. So it's just that make sure and acknowledge it. I'm not saying that, finish the task and send it over. Just acknowledge it that you are working on it, you're on it. So another person would know that you're going to take some time, but at least you're working on it. Set aside dedicated time each day for communication tasks to ensure timely follow-ups. Next thing, which is going to help you in a big way, is being proactive. Proactivity is about taking initiative and anticipating needs before they arise. Here is how you can be proactive in your communication. Anticipate potential issues or challenges and address them proactively. Join meetings before the set time, right? Well groomed. Just join the bridge 10 minutes before the meeting so that, if there will be any issue, any technical glitches, you'll be able to fix them. You'll have ample amount of time in your kitty. Don't you hold yourself back, right? We human beings are extremists and we always go ahead and judge ourselves that, okay, my ideas are not good enough, or maybe, I don't think I'll be able to assist somebody. Don't think like that. Offer assistance to colleagues and seek opportunities to contribute to team goals. If something is going wrong, even it's not related to your department or team, it's your responsibility to let the concerned people know. Suggest possible resolutions. Another thing, don't think too much about the ideas which are popping in your head. And yeah, please definitely don't judge them for sure. Share those ideas for process improvements or new initiatives to drive innovation. You never know which idea can create a huge impact, so don't hold yourself back. Just go ahead and share whatever you think. Next thing, which is going to come in quite handy while working from home, is staying organized. Very important, people. Staying organized is essential for managing communication effectively. Here are some organizational tips. Use project management tools like Asana or Trello to track tasks and deadlines. It's very important. You'll be able to manage a lot of things. You wouldn't have to ask for updates. You will get to see the updates when you use these project management tools. Create separate folders and labels for emails to streamline inbox management. Otherwise, you will waste hours scrolling and looking for the right one. Arrange your emails and documents systematically so that you can easily locate them whenever you need them at the last minute. Develop a daily or weekly schedule to prioritize tasks and allocate time for communication activities. Whenever you are taking a break, always keep your manager and client informed and just notify that same on Slack as well, so that they would not anticipate any answer from you. Right? They would know that you are on a break, you're having dinner. So make sure that you go ahead and do that. Last thing I would love to discuss is address the elephant in the room: fear of public speaking. It's natural to feel nervous, people. But remember, even the most seasoned speakers started somewhere. So please embrace your nerves, channel them into positive energy, and believe in yourself. Don't sound shaky. Couple of tips I would love to give you for public speaking would be: maintain an appropriate rate of speech. I've seen a lot of people have perfectly normal, slow pacing of their speech in social situation, but find themselves running their mouths a mile a minute whenever they are asked to speak in public. So please cut down your rate of speech. Speaking too quickly won't look good. It can make it difficult for listeners to comprehend the message, while speaking too slowly can lead to disengagement. Finding the right pace ensures clarity and audience engagement. There are a lot of disadvantages of high rate of speech as well. If you speak too fast, your audience will not be able to absorb the information you're presenting. Your articulation and pronunciation suffers. You will have less time to process the information and gather the thoughts. You might miss emphasizing on few key things. An audience might assume that you're nervous or you have learned everything by rote or maybe you have crammed everything. Doesn't look good. Doesn't sound organic. Ensure ensure impeccable grammar. Make sure that your grammar is correct, please. Correct grammar enhances credibility and professionalism. Improper grammar can distract the audience and undermine the speaker's authority on the topic. And even if, God forbid, you make a mistake, just correct yourself there and then and carry on. And don't think too much about it. Otherwise, you'll not be able to carry on the conversation. You'll get stuck. Next thing, which is equally important, is refrain from using overtly complex vocabulary. So avoid words like agapic ecology or floxy nihilipilification. While sophisticated language may showcase intelligence, it can alienate or confuse the audience. Using simple and clear language ensures that the message is easily understood by all listeners. Keep your language simple and easy to understand. Avoid using fancy words or technical jargons that might confuse people. Instead, opt for words that everyone can understand. This way, you will ensure that your message is clear and easily understood by everyone. Address any mother tongue influence or accent concerns. Right? We all have mother tongue influence, right? And I mean, you go down south, you go east, or even in this, if you go in the center of a country, there are people they have this mother tongue hangover. It can affect clarity and comprehension, especially in multicultural settings. So acknowledging and working on reducing MTI or accent barriers improves communication effectiveness. You can't get rid of MTI overnight. It will take a while. It takes a lot of time to fade. So it's just that make sure you are putting in conscious efforts in order to get rid of it. Tone of voice, again, very important. Without the body language cues of traditional in-person meetings, your tone of voice will take on a new importance here whenever you are in virtual meetings. You want to have a confident, enthusiastic, and steady tone of voice. A low voice may suggest that you are an introvert or maybe timid. Too loud may indicate that you have a hell of an attitude or maybe interpreted as a noisy person. And too fast, like I said before as well, may indicate that you are impatient and talk the way the thoughts come to your mind without thinking too much. Maybe you're fapping around, just saying things for the heck of it. So please don't speak too fast. Avoid monotony. So you must have seen the ECG machine in the hospital. When the person is dead, it goes straight, and when the person is alive, it goes up and down, right? So make sure that you do not sound monotonous. Another thing which is going to help you is that recording yourself. Consider recording yourself for self-assessment. Recording speeches allows speakers to review their performance objectively, and it stays in your subconscious, and you'll take care of it whenever you're speaking for the next time. It helps identify areas for improvement, such as vocal tone, body language, and pacing, leading to continual growth and refinement in public speaking skills. So that's all from my side. Over to you, Jatin. Now you can go ahead with your presentation.
Sure. Thank you so much for that very wonderful information about verbal communication skills, especially the last part about public speaking, which is something that people are really conscious about. They get really scared of doing that. But yes, there are these effective uh, steps that you can undertake to get better and better at it. It's not something that you may be born with, but it's something that you can definitely achieve with a lot of practice. And by getting that daily boost of confidence from whatever source that you may be adhering to. So now the next thing that I'm going to be talking about is, first of all, we'll touch upon how to write minutes of meeting, something that still a lot of people struggle with because they just don't know how to write minutes of meetings. They just don't know what the format is. They just don't know what all elements go into writing minutes of meetings. We'll also see how you can use AI tools to write these more effectively. We'll also see what kind of templates, if you can find them online, how can you use them very effectively and then share it with your client and whatnot. Additionally, we will also see Fireflies and Otter and see how both of these transcription tools can help us with the audio recording. They can also help us with the transcription. And then how can we use that transcription and then generate our minutes of meetings through that transcription as well. And once I'm done with that, Shai will take you through a couple of use cases of email writing and how you can do it very effectively with the help of AI and even otherwise as well. So let me just share my screen now. Of course, you guys can already see it. But yes, the first thing that I'd like to discuss here is, when you talk about minutes of meetings, people, first of all, don't really know what goes into writing minutes of meetings. That problem has been very easily solved by your Google Docs itself. So if you just go to Google Docs From here, you will notice that it provides you with a template gallery. Now, if you click on it, you will notice that it has some very beautiful templates, such as a project proposal, a brochure, a newsletter, some agreements that you can draft, some training proposal documents, some resume, business letters. Correct? There are all of these beautiful templates which are carved out for you by Google Docs. And one of those use cases is actually your meeting notes. So you will find that there are these three copies which are given to you by Google Docs as a template. There's one here, the second one is here, and the third one is here. Let's just say that you want to go ahead with this one. Now, just a small glance at it can tell you what all basic elements are incorporated into writing minutes of meetings. Yeah. So if you notice, first of all, on top, you have your company name. Now, I see that a lot of people, all that they care about is just writing the agenda, writing the notes very effectively, writing the action items, and that's it. They don't really see that it also includes attendees. They don't see that it also includes the date, the time, the platform on which the meeting happened. Another very important aspect, the entire title of the meeting, people just miss out on that. So how can you write this very effectively? I'll quickly show it to you. Let's just say I am conducting an induction session for a new batch of trainees that is joining Wishup today. So first of all, in your company section, I will write Bishop because that's the name of the organization. Meeting name would be induction day one. I will just remove these numbers because they are not really required there. Now here is where I will write the date of the call. So 3rd of May 2024. If that call is beginning at 8 p.m., I will write 8 p.m. Now here, this must have happened in a conference room, but because we are working out of a virtual setup, so here we will write Google Meet or any other meeting platform that you uh, prescribe to. Yeah. Now, in attendees, you need to write the names of people who have attended the call. Right. There's one more section that you can add here for the host, who is the organizer of the call. Right. So here you will start with the host if you don't want to add another separate section. So you can write Jatin Kelkar, you can write Shay, you can write Naveen, and then a couple of other people, whoever is joining the training. So this will be your list of attendees. These are the people who have joined your call. This should be followed by agenda. Now, agenda is basically the discussions that are going to happen on the call at that point in time, right? But this is different from the actual discussion that is conducted. Yeah. So agenda is something that you give before the meeting happens to everyone who is going to join the meeting. So here, let's just say that we are covering introductions, then we are covering uh, Wishup organizational structure and history, then we are covering uh, Wishup rules, right? Then we take a break and then we talk about the Wishup application. Now here I can say that we are covering your task creation, EOD reports, updating your profile. Yeah. So these are basically the points that are covered in the agenda. Now in notes, you can actually change this from notes to discussion points because that is a more relevant title to it or a heading to it. And then you can write everything in detail about whatever happens here. So whatever the discussion happens, you can write the summary of it, the gist of it, so that it will be useful for you when you look at it in retrospect in future. That okay, this was the discussion that happened. This is what the host talked about this point. This is what the host talked about this point, right? And then followed by that is the most important point of writing, your minutes of meetings. That is actionable items. Now, what is action items or actionable items? These are basically the responsibilities that are assigned to people on that given meeting. So let's just say trainees would have been told that join tomorrow on Slack, which is our common communication channel. Then greet everyone good morning at a certain point. Join our calls, at the right time. Please install Slack on your phone and everything. So these are basically what your actionable items are. These are your responsibilities that you need to carry out in the coming day or in the coming days, right? So you can either write them in numbered lists. There's another way in which you can do that, which is if you go to more option here, you will find that there is also a checklist menu that you can convert it into. So I can write uh, download and install Slack on phone, login through Wishup Gmail on your phone, then wish people good morning, anything. Yeah. So this will tell you that you are uh, you're aware of your responsibilities, and then once you're done with it, you can just go ahead and mark it as done. So whoever is assigned a certain responsibility, this was just one use case or one example that I've given to you. Whoever is assigned a certain responsibility, they can just come here and they can mark it off as a sign that they've finished that work. Interestingly, you also have like next week's agenda and everything, which you can edit here and then share this document with the concerned people. There's one more very interesting feature that not a lot of people are aware of, right? So if you go to your calendar, if you share a meeting invitation with anyone, let's just say I want to give a one-on-one feedback to some of my trainees. Let's just consider Shay as my trainee here. So I will add Shay on the call. Now here you will find that it lets you add an attachment, which is, which it says here is called as create meeting notes. Now I've already created one such, event. So if you notice, if you add that kind of a document, look at that. It will reflect on the meeting itself. Now, if you open that document, this is how it looks like. And you will notice that it's shared with the only person who is going to attend that call, not with anyone else. So you can be sure of the privacy aspect of it, right? And both me and Shay, we can edit this document. Now you'll notice that it has the time here. I'm sorry, the date here. You can also add the time. I'm sorry. See, uh, here it has the call name or the title of the entire meeting. Here you have the attendees, and you can see their Google profiles like this from here. Here you can add detailed notes followed by actionable items. So this is a very wonderful, platform that not a lot of people are aware of. But please make very good use of this because if it's right there in front of you, why not use it, right? You will go to some other platform, you will create your minutes of meetings. Don't do all of that when you can create it so beautifully from here itself, right? uh, so this is one more example of how you can write your minutes of meetings. Now let's come to the two tools that I was talking about. The first tool being your fireflies.ai. Now, I'm sure that most of you guys, who are a part of Wishup organization, you would have noticed that when we have our internal calls, when we have our, discussion calls, uh, before people join, they have their fireflies, they have their otters that join the call. This is something that all of us have observed, even in our upskilling session calls, wherein they send their otters first and then they join the call. Uh, Now, this is not something that they do, manually. These both of these tools, they are made in such a way that they join the call at the start of the call. They start recording your conversation, and basis that conversation, they also make a transcription of your conversation, right? But the transcription of it, unfortunately, when it comes to Fireflies, you will not be able to see the transcription because it's a paid feature. Yeah. So let me quickly show you what you can do with Fireflies. You can add it to a certain live meeting that is going on. Let's just say if you have hopped on a tertiary link which is shared to you by someone else, and you cannot obviously have your Fireflies going there because you are not a part of the original invite, yeah, which is like a prerequisite for any Fireflies to hop on a certain call. So here, what you need to do is you need to click on Add to Live Meeting. You can put in the name of the meeting. It appears there at the bottom of the Google Meet call. Here, you can add the meeting link, right? Such as this one. You can add that, and then you can click on Start Capturing. What it does is that within a minute, it will join that call. You just need to add that to that call so that it can start recording your conversation. Now, let me show you, an example of how you can find your transcription. So I have got like a trial version here for, uh, I'm sorry, I've got here a trial version for Fireflies. So to show you as an example, let me just open one of these things. Let's just say it's, okay, let's just say it's LG session that is conducted by Shai. So here you will find that there's just an overview of the entire meeting, right? You will find that Shainuko emphasized targeting decision makers based on department-wise hierarchies within companies. Examples like selling a document management system to law firms were discussed. So it's given a summary of the conversation, a very beautiful use case, right? But on the right side, you will find that it also gives you the transcript of the call. So all you need to do is copy the transcript, and then you can go to ChatGPT, paste it, and ask ChatGPT to make the minutes of meetings for you. So here, as an example, what I've done, I have just given one prompt: write minutes of meetings depending on the following transcript. And then I've pasted the transcript. I know I'm aware of the fact that there is a word limit to it. So for that, you will need to uh, use multiple platforms, or what you can do is just stick with the word limit, and you will be pasting different sections of the call separately and then combine them together and then get your MOM generated in detail. So here what I've done is I've given the prompt write minutes of meeting depending on the following transcript. I've pasted the transcript, and then what it does is that it gives you detailed meeting minutes. But now you will realize that it doesn't have the date, neither does it have the time, and neither does it have the location. So these are some of the things that you will need to fill in by yourself. They are not going to self fill themselves. You will need to fill these fields. One thing I notice as a training manager on most of the occasions is that people miss out on these brackets. These are simple placeholders that you need to fill the information into. Yeah. Then you have the attendees, then you have the agenda, then you have the minutes, which are recorded here, and you have the actionable items as well. Next meeting, again, you will notice that there's a placeholder here. You need to fill this field. And then the adjournment, meeting concluded at so and so time with a word of thanks from all the attendees. So after this, what you will do is go to copy. Whoever you want to send your MOM to, you will paste it, right? And yes, also one more thing, that is the right way of pasting your ChatGPT output. Because one more observation I have made is if you copy paste like that, anyone who has an eye for detail, they can figure out the change in formatting, right? So if you get your content copied from ChatGPT like that, it's probably one of the worst things that can happen to you if someone that you're writing this content to has an attention to detail you know, he has an eye for attention to detail, right? So you will notice that in the beginning, it has left some space and you cannot do anything about it. And even at the bottom, so the only way out for such situations is to select the whole content and then click on clear formatting or remove formatting. Once you do that, you will find that you can now normally treat this content because it is in its normal form. Yeah. So that was about transcript, from fireflies.ai. The second platform that I want to talk about is Otter, which again is a popular transcription tool. Again, just like your fireflies, you can have otter.ai join a certain call just by pasting the link here. Once you do that and click on record, it will join that call. It will start recording your conversation. Now here, just as an example, I want to show you uh, what all things can otter do. So just like fireflies, even this can generate uh, just like fireflies, that even this can generate a summary of the call. Let me open. Yeah. So it can generate the summary of the call. The second thing that it does very beautifully is that it can create all of these actionable items and draft them for you, which all you need to do is copy them and then you can, uh, paste them somewhere. You can also mark them here itself, and then you will find the transcript over here, which you can copy and get your summary for from ChatGPT. Yeah. Uh, there's also a couple of other tools that you can consider. There's a tool called as limitless.ai, uh, which is again a very interesting tool. What it does is that you can get it on a certain call. It will record your conversation. It will give you a summary as well, and it will give you a transcript. It will also help you with the agenda, participants, and some helpful context about the call. Yeah. So try out limitless.ai as well. Very wonderful tool. It's something that I'm still exploring, so I will not talk much about it. Maybe in another webinar. But yes. Uh, so yeah, I think that's it about transcription and minutes of meetings from my side. I think I can now pass it over to Shay, who will share his screen and he will talk about writing your emails more effectively.
Thank you so much, Jatin, and thank you so much, Naveen. I love the public speaking part because I think we all need to gain public speaking skills. It is necessary in every field, and you would have seen a lot of influencers speaking effectively no matter what they're selling. So I'm glad that you did the session, and I'm glad that Jatin did the session for MOM and the transcripts, which we haven't done before. So this is quite exciting. Likewise, I want to delve deeper into email writing, but today I don't want to teach you email writing. I don't want to teach you the prompt engineering or using AI tools to write email writing, but I'm going to concentrate on reducing your time further, maybe up till another 5 minutes, by installing extensions of ChatGPT, Gemini, and Copilot. And also, if you are unable to use these one of these three, then I have one or two more extensions that you should be using because you're already reducing your time by using AI tools in email writing by at least, I would say, 30 to 45 minutes for a long email. And you can save further 5 minutes by installing these extensions. Let me share my screen first, and then I'll start with the big three platforms. Now, while you're using ChatGPT, I guess this is how your screen looks like. Yeah. The first thing that you need to download is APRM extension, AIPRM extension. Now try to use Google Chrome. So I'll go back to Google Chrome and show it. And if I go to the home page, it will give this window, which should be very useful for you. So make sure that you start with that. And so that you can get the output in a certain language, you can select your tone, the writing style, and also, you can expand it, shorten it, and you already have this window right here, right over here. Now, how would you write your typical email using ChatGPT? I'm taking an example here. Write an email welcoming a new employee, Erica Johnson, in Wishup's ID department, and give her the SOP. You'd give this prompt. This is your initial primary prompt, and then ChatGPT will construct the email. It's a pretty long email. I wouldn't want such a long email, but let's make it a little bit casual and humorous. So I've given a secondary prompt here, and then I still wasn't happy, so I've given a third prompt. Make it less humorous but appealing. I don't know what that is, but it has certainly, given up the output that I want. And then I wanted to reduce it. This is how you would use a typical AI tool to write emails. Now, what I wanted to show is using something called as ChatGPT extension. Okay. Instead of going there and opening a new tab and opening ChatGPT, you might want to actually use the ChatGPT extension in the Gmail editor window itself. So that's what we are going to do. Let me erase that. And this is where it sits. So if you download ChatGPT extension, this is where it settles down. And you can give your prompt here. Write an email welcoming a new employee at Wishup in the IT department. And you can mention the name as well, Erica Johnson, and click on generate. You can select the tone. I've already set it up for professional because it looks like it's emanating from the HR or training department. You would probably want it in a professional tone, but there are other tones that you can select as well. It generates the subject as well, as you can see, and it is slowly creating the body and the other content. Give it a few seconds. I mean, it takes about approximately 10 seconds. Now read the content. It looks fine to me, and I can just insert the response, which will go and settle in the Gmail editor compose message window. Yeah. You can use the same thing to even reply for emails. So what we are doing here is we are saving a 3 or 4 minute window further instead of going into ChatGPT and copying the content there, pasting it here, giving further prompts. So you can do this all in one window. So I'd strongly suggest that you use this ChatGPT extension. And of course, I'm sure I need not tell you that you can already use a Quillbot extension, Grammarly extension, to further refine it if you need to, because it really helps in refining it further. And you cannot afford to have any grammatical or sentence construction errors in written writing. Let's move on to the second part, which is the second big giant that we have is Copilot. Now this is purely made for Microsoft, right? There's no two bones about it. I'm using a Mac. There are certain constraints. There is a Copilot extension that you can use, and all of you guys who use Outlook or MS 365, or you've purchased one of those plans, I strongly suggest that instead of ChatGPT extension, instead of Gemini extension, you should be using Copilot because it's meant for Microsoft products. Now, this is how it looks like. Because I can't show it on my PC, I'll quickly show you where the extension is and see. So this is your Outlook window, and this is the button that you use while composing an email. It works pretty much similar to ChatGPT. There's nothing new. So all you Outlook users, I strongly suggest that you use the Copilot extension in your Outlook window. Let's move on to the third one, which is Gemini. Right now, Gemini is obviously Google's Bard rehashed, and again, a lot of people do ask why don't they have a Gemini AI extension, but to let you know, they have not actually made it quite public. They have the extension, but it is rolled out only in Gemini Advanced plan. How do you get that plan? Now, first of all, I don't think I need to tell you that Gemini works on personal Gmails, not on your work emails. So if you have one or two more accounts, if you just type in try Gemini Advanced, yeah, click on that. What can you see here? Try for 2 months. So you can try it for 2 months, and I've already started using it. And um, that is where you actually get the Google extension. And let me show you how it looks like. So this is my personal email, and this is the window. And if you go here, if you can see this, yeah, help me write. Let me move the screen away. And it helps you formalize, elaborate, shorten, pretty much the same things as what ChatGPT does, ChatGPT extension does, and Copilot extension does. Yeah. So install this and use those 2 months free trial, and then you can cancel it. Do remember to cancel it because I don't think they're going to keep it free for many more months. So now that you've seen how the three big extensions work in your Gmail editor, what if you don't want to use your credit card and just use the 2 months trial? What if you can't use Copilot because like me, I'm a Mac user? And what if you didn't like the Chat GPT extension? There are a few other extensions that you should be using. If you didn't like those two, then you should find for alternatives. Now what I do is every few months I just go into these tech magazines and come across what are the top AI email extension or assistants that I should be using. Now for 2024, I had bookmarked this page where it actually tells you which one is the best. And these are the top five. These are the free ones. Okay. So SEMrush is used for writing emails, ChatGPT for summarizing. They found that that is best for that. Missive is for team collaboration, Warmer.ai for personalization, which is something that I tried and I loved it, and Mail Butler for contact management. Now, if you want to also check out the paid tools, the paid AI assistants for email writing, this is a link that I found. And as you can see, Help Scout is best for customer communications and the price. These are all the paid ones. Let's not talk about the paid ones because let's face it, no one is going to buy all these plans and use it. We will be exploring the free ones. So let me go back into my Gmail editor, Compose editor. The first one that I wanted to show is Boomerang. And this, let me close this. This is Boomerang. And if I open the chat window, this is where it comes and sits. Sorry, give it a few seconds. It takes a little bit of time loading because I've got too many screens open. Now the Boomerang gives you three distinctive features. One of them is it schedules a meeting. Yeah, where is it? Oh, there you go. So the first one, this is the window, the red color buttons. This is the Boomerang window. And if you click here, it will give you a schedule. You can suggest times for a meeting and reply to an email. You can do a poll or a survey as well. You can also track if the reader has read your email, and it's like an email receipt that you'd get when someone reads your email, and you can schedule it for later as well. You can schedule it for the next 2 hours, next 4 days, or a specific time. Yeah, these are the three good features that I find easy with Boomerang. And the last one, which is Magical AI, which is what I love, is this one. And let me go back and open the screen. Now, as you can see, Magical AI is much more useful because it not only works as an extension in the Gmail editor, Compose editor, but it actually works well on social media platforms. So if I open my social media platform, and let's say I want to message Jatin, and I'm going to, I'm going to consider Jatin as my prospective client or someone that I want to reach out to. Now, as soon as I clicked on the message button, this is the LinkedIn automatic AI, which has cleverly learned that I've never messaged him or probably not messaged him since a long time. So it has given me this automatic template. I'm going to remove that and I'll just use forward slash, two forward slashes, which is the prompt for using magical AI. And then I can click on write with assist, and I already have some content. Oh, let me write it actually. Write a message, write a LinkedIn message to Jatin requesting him to attend a product demo on Zoom slash Teams. Let's see what it does. Yeah, so it will obviously construct that message, and then you can remove the subject line, or and then you can see what it does. Okay, this looks fine, this looks fine, and that looks like a perfect message. You can remove this and click on send. Yeah, so this is the best feature that this extension works on all social media platforms. You should try the other platforms as well. Coming back to this Gmail editor, how would you write here? Again, follow the forward two slashes, and that will bring up the AI assist window of magical AI. And let's write an email. Write an email to HR asking, requesting a performance appraisal. Yeah, click on enter, and it will generate that email. You can also create a template, as you can see. Oh, there you go. It has inserted that. And obviously, you can remove the subject line from here, put it at the top, remove the last line written with magical. You don't want others to know that, some AI extension tool has written it for you. If you want to create a template, I have already created a template. Look at this one. And which I probably want to use it for something. Don't look at the content. It actually has some placeholders as well, just 5 of them. So that's quite a useful, feature. And so yeah, guys, this is what I wanted to show you today is reduce your email writing not just by using AI tools, but by installing extensions. It will save a further 2 to 3 minutes at least. Now, in saying that, the last thing that I want to mention is, as you can see, I already have a Quillbot extension, I have a Grammarly extension, I have a ChatGPT extension, I have a Boomerang extension, and I've got a magical AI extension. You don't want to have so many as well. Yeah, it will confuse you. So maybe 3, maximum 2 or 3 at a time. And I think that's enough. Yeah. So that's all from me, and that's all from us as well at Wishup. Um, Thank you so much for those 5 days of webinar, sorry, that we did over the last 5 days. I thank everyone for attending, and in the next 2 to 3 months, we'll come up with another weekly, or maybe more than that, new set of tools, new set of AI tools, which I hope some more tools come up with, and we'll conduct this webinar again. Thank you so much for attending. Should we wait for any QA sessions? Were there any questions, Jatin and Naveen?
There is actually a question. Uh, so I think Sabir has asked. This question is actually for Naveen. What steps can be taken to reduce the mother tongue influence? So Naveen, if you could just answer that.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
All right. So see, what happens is that it takes a while. You're gonna put in your conscious efforts. Another thing which you can do is that you can work on your consonant sounds. There are major four consonant sounds which are going to make a huge difference when it comes to grabbing that neutral accent or speaking in that neutral accent. So just work on those consonant sounds. Those four consonant sounds are k, r, th, and p. So our when we speak in our native language, right, our t's are very hard, right? Our r is very hard. Our k is very hard. We speak like paparazzi, right? So it's very hard. It's paparazzi, right? So what you can do is that just because these three out of these four, k, p, and t, these are aspirated sounds. So make sure you gotta keep. All you gotta do is that just keep your palm in front of your lips a few inches away, and when you say pa, there's no air which is hitting your palm, right? And when you say pa, so that's an aspirated sound. The pressure of air is gonna hit your palm. So that's how you keep on working on it, and you'll improve.
Great. Thanks so much, Naveen.
Uh, there's one more thing that I want to clarify here. When you talk about limitation of free plans when it comes to Fireflies or Otter AI, uh, the free plan won't really give you transcription. It'll just give you the audio recording. Also, it has a limitation of certain minutes up to which it can do your recording. So you will need to go, in your archives, you will need to delete a couple of recordings which are there so that you will constantly have that bandwidth wherein Fireflies can get on a call and can at least give you the recording, if not the transcription, right? So yes, that's the major limitation of the free trial. I'm sorry, of the free version, not the free trial.
Do we have any other questions? Guys, if you have any questions or if you do need these AI extensions and the transcript that Jatin has used, or the pointers that Naveen has mentioned, or the ones that I have shown, feel free to message us. You can comment on it. And so let's end this session in this wonderful week. I would request all of you guys to, like, share, and comment and subscribe to our channel, and also involve a lot of your work colleagues to attend these sessions and watch them. I'm sure there's a bundle of knowledge that we have given, especially this week. And hopefully, in the next 2-3 months, we'll again come up with some more content. So feel free to bring in all your colleagues and friends and family to watch us. And do watch the other content that we post on a daily basis on LinkedIn and on Instagram. Yeah. So thank you so much once again. And you have a great weekend, guys. We'll see you again very soon. Bye.
Bye.